My childhood was a bit up and down. It was a challenge. You had to fend for yourself from an early stage because of single father. He had to work for his income, and but it was rewarding because you learned at a young age how to carry on in life, and I believe that is playing a big part of my success to date. I found out that I had myelofibrosis in 2020 February when we went for a family checkup, and the GP did normal blood work like you would normally do to check cholesterol, blood pressure, sugar, all that kind of stuff.
Something in his voice just made me think different. So I think he tried to keep it so that someone that really knows about the illness will explain to us, because I don't think he really knew about it as well. He just knew that something was wrong.
I didn't know I had symptoms before I was diagnosed, but as the doctor, as the research and my new hematologist in Pretoria talked to me and asked me questions, then I soon realized that the symptoms I had wasn't because of the kind of work I've done. It was based on the myelofibrosis.
Well, the symptoms that I sort of noticed, but we also just brushed it off as his work because he is busy. So we thought the tiredness, because he would get home and he would go straight to the couch and just become a couch potato. That's what we called him.
My immediate thoughts when I was diagnosed with myelofibrosis, it was not alarming as of yet, because I didn't know what it was. I didn't have any explanation. The GP, I asked him straight, is it cancer? And he said, no, it's not something like that.
At first, it affected me in a way that I couldn't look at Corno because I would start crying. Because it's a scary thought of there might be a chance I'm going to lose my husband. We have 2 little boys. I have to raise them on my own if something goes wrong. And there's not much to help us to know what to expect in the future.
I think in the beginning my wife was the stronger one because she had to keep everything intact. The children didn't know at first, so it was more the adults that was facing, and everybody was asking questions, and everything is worst case scenario. So it was a bumpy ride in the beginning, but my wife was strong and she kept everything together.
Part of the journey, we started to grow back to each other and to communicate, because that's our thing. We used to communicate, but then you just don't know what to say to each other, because why do you talk? And we started to go to a point where we could talk about it. I remember the first few nights I literally couldn't sleep. I was planning a funeral.
You soon realize that you have to take every day like it's your last day, if you want to say it. I know everybody say that, but as soon as you have a diagnosis like that, you actually get the real feel for it, that you have to spend time with your family, because you don't know what road is you're gonna go.
It affected my boys a lot. We decided, at first we didn't want to tell them, but after Corno saw someone from work, they suggested he has to go talk to someone, and she said we should talk to our kids about it. You don't have to say the word cancer, but say myelofibrosis. And obviously my boys do have access to the internet, so they would obviously find out some way. So what we did is we told them about it, and it is some form of cancer, and it's going to be a tough spot to be in. So we started journaling, and my oldest son would write to me, and I would write him back. My youngest one would draw a picture, and they are really going back and forth at times. It comes in waves. There's times I would notice when my boys would have a hard day with it, a hard time, and they would act out a little bit. And I remember one specific moment where my eldest was really upset about something that wasn't even worth being upset about. And I just took him and I held him, and I told him, listen, tell me what's wrong. And that's when he cried and said, I don't want my dad to die.
First thing I said is, don't pity me and give me time to figure it out, because there is so many information but yet so little information, and you have to go through the information that is relevant and the information that's not relevant.
We started our own group to help other patients, because I remember we were sitting and talking about the fact that that feeling you get when you find out about an illness and there's not much to find out about, to educate yourself, to know what's going to happen. And that's when we decided to start something to just help someone to not have that feeling.
We as humans are very easy to accept that's what's given to us, and we need to learn ourselves, so we need to ask questions, because at the end of the day that's the only way we will get where we want to be, and maybe create more awareness instead of just sitting down. And it helps knowing that there is a way forward, not only as a patient but as there's people interested to make a difference, to get the word out there, maybe creating more awareness.
It is scary, but you'll get through it because you're stronger than you give yourself credit for, and you learn to become stronger with this.
The Novartis Patient Advisory Board, it gave us an opportunity to talk about it, and I always say to talk about it is awareness, and awareness is the solution at the end of the day.